Hello, everyone, and welcome to this pick a card reading. So, as you can see, right before I was about to start recording, my cat Nina has jumped on top of your card selection. But I just thought, well, she wants to be in the video, so how could I refuse? I will give you the opportunity to see each of the three cards, so don't worry about it. But in today's reading, we're going to be looking at your destiny. I don't actually know what is going to come through in this reading yet, but I just feel really called and really drawn to open up a channel around your destiny, around this topic of destiny. And I know it's a big topic, and that's why I kind of wanted to explore it today and kind of go deep and see what messages, guidance, Spirit has for you, insights about what your destiny is in this lifetime, guidance about your destiny at this time right now in your life, on your timeline, and just really anything else that wants to come through. So we have the Dragon card here with power and strength. We have the Merlin card here with alchemy, justice, and balance. And we have the Faery, okay? So I will, list the timestamps down below, and then I'll see you for your reading. Hello, group 1. So you chose the Dragon, and we have Nina here for your reading as well. I don't know how long she's going to stay or what her plans are, but I wanted to include her for at least some of your reading. So we're just going to work around Nina. That's how we do things here. Nina is Queen Na, okay? So, so you chose the Dragon, which is a powerful destiny line. I feel like this is some kind of destiny lineage almost. I'm hearing destiny line or destiny lineage that you have chosen, or that maybe exists within you as a soul. It may be more like a soul lineage, but it's definitely something that I'm feeling is playing out for you in this lifetime. I feel like you are a very strong, powerful soul, and I feel like it says here power and strength. So I feel like your lifetime, one of the things that you are working out in this lifetime is how to really embody your own power, how to truly, truly embody the amount of power that you actually have at your disposal. It's how can you really channel that in a really natural and innate kind of way? And it's interesting we have Nina here on the table because my cat Nina, she is a very incredible hunter, and she has this very, she's incredible at, parkour, jumping onto roofs and all these things. She has a precision about her. And she was a street cat as well before I got her. She was adopted. We adopted her at around age 1, when she had a litter of kittens, and she came in off the streets and asked someone for help, and then, found her way to me. Anyway, she has this natural kind of innate energy, right? She has that animal power, that animal instinct. And there's something about your power that is really reminding me of an animal. In the most beautiful way, in, the way that animals channel energy and power so easily, they just have this way, cats can do the most incredible jumps and acts of fitness that it just blows my mind. So there's something here about your power where you're meant to really channel it really naturally and really organically, just like an animal does in nature. Or even it's also giving me kind of the energy of I don't know, a superhero movie, because this is the kind of energy I'm getting. It's kind of superpowers actually, and maybe part of your destiny might be superpowers as well. But I'm getting something about, a superhero movie when they go from being kind of their everyday character and then they turn into the superhero version of themselves, and they have their different cloak on, or they, Clark Kent turns into Superman, or that woman turns into Catwoman or whatever, and they have this almost personality shift, and they change, and it's this difference, and then they're channeling their power in this way, and they become kind of more confident or more self-assured or something like this. And again, with the cat energy here in your spread, we got strong cat energy here in your spread. I'm feeling that again is this self-assured kind of energy, this confidence, this self-love energy that is really a part of your destiny in this lifetime. Your destiny could be quite a lot about yourself, and then the more you focus on yourself, the more you help others, okay? This is sort of what I'm getting. So it's not that any of our destinies are ever, just about us, because really everything's about the whole unity And we are always being of service. And that is truly the spiritual path, really service to all and service to other. And being of service is really the path of fulfillment. But anyway, but I am seeing something about focusing on yourself being really important. And that might be because there is this pathway, this journey of healing occurring in your life where you're moving from maybe an experience of not being in your power. Like there's something that feels like you will have experienced not being in your power in some way, having your power in some way not be available to you. Like, and then there's some destiny pathway that you have mapped out for yourself where you reclaim your power in this lifetime and you stand really strong in it, like a dragon or a lion or a tiger. You know, Nina's my little tiger. So I feel like that's sort of the energy. It's like you could be, yeah, really channeling some kind of raw power. It feels really primal. You might have had some kind of experiences around sacred rage in this lifetime or anger, and that might be part of how you are channeling your power. I feel like there's something very archetypal here of some kind of a superhero is the energy that I'm feeling from you, and I really don't want you to take that in the wrong way or like as if it's cheap or something, because I mean that with the utmost respect. Like I feel like that's a really cool archetype, but just doesn't quite do it justice. There's some kind of like otherworldly powers that you have, I suppose. There's something supernatural about you, okay? There's something supernatural about you and about your destiny. And justice might be really important to you in your destiny, okay? Things that may not be right or fair might really bother you, or you might really care about that. And that might be part of how you channel your power is through the fact that you care really deeply and that you're very empathic and that you may have, you know, experiences of injustice that you've gone through or powerlessness or something that, I don't know, almost like lit a fire within you in this life or maybe in a past life. This could easily be energies that you feel like you've innately had in you for a long, long time. But yeah, there's something here about channeling your energy. You are meant to learn how to channel your energy in this life, and you're going to learn how to breathe fire, okay? That's a powerful energy archetype that you've chosen with the dragon. Like you're meant to channel your power in a way that breathes fire. And I'm seeing that this fire that you're going to breathe, it's both creative and destructive simultaneously, okay? Fire has the ability to destroy. It burns things down, it breaks things down, and it clears a path, it clears the way for a new growth. But fire, I'm also seeing, has the ability to create. There's something about a creative fire. You know, we talk about a spiritual fire or creative fire, the fire of life force that lives within us. Like I'm seeing you kind of have different ways that you're going to use this fire in your life, and it's both creative and destructive, but destructive in a positive way, because certain structures you do need to burn them down in this lifetime. There's something about you're really working with the element of fire in this lifetime, actually. Or at this point in your destiny path, perhaps it's sort of a fire alchemy moment that you're going through. Yeah, there might be a lot of things that are falling away for you at this time, or this may be something that you just have had experience with your whole life. Is I think maybe having to let go a lot, having to say goodbye, having to have things end, maybe before you were even ready, or even if you still felt love, or there may have been grief. Yeah, but I'm seeing there's something here though about realizing that you have this really powerful fire inside of you, and that your destiny is basically to learn how to breathe this fire into the world. And this fire is going to ignite, it's going to activate, it's going to be a creative force and a destructive force for things that do need to be destroyed. You're going to have this like really masterful balance between how you use your fire to create and to destroy. It's a really powerful, powerful energy. But yeah, you will be channeling past pain or injustice. Like I said, this could even be past life energy. You're meant to do a whole lot of alchemy work in this lifetime. And spirit doesn't want you to be overwhelmed. Okay, this is a really important message I'm feeling coming through, is like spirit wants you to reframe or change your perspective on maybe the amount of pain that you carry. You might be very aware of like, oh, I carry a lot of pain, or I carry a lot of trauma, or I carry a lot of it might be coming up for you recently at this time, like really a healing time for you. And yeah, you might be feeling vulnerable or raw. There's something that yeah, it just feels kind of intense at this time. But Spirit's saying, like, don't feel overwhelmed by the amount that you might feel is in you, or this feeling like it might be never ending, because it's this message coming through around that pain is actually going to be the fuel, the fire, like the fuel for your fire. You know, like when you have fire, you need to put things on it. We burn wood, you know, you have a bonfire, whatever. You put things on it to keep that fire going. And I don't fully like claim to understand this yet, but there's something that keeps coming through in my channelings when I open up to Spirit. And it's about how when we choose our life and we choose our life plan, we kind of know that we're going to have to experience a certain amount of pain within duality. And we choose those things wisely so that they are the perfect alchemists for our growth and for our manifestation. So it's like, okay, if your destiny is to experience your power and fully channeling your power through you, then you might experience instances of powerlessness or injustice that kind of fuel you at a core level. And then that pain turns into the fuel for a fire of creation, for a fire of renewal, for a fire of rebirth, for a fire of manifestation. Okay, I hope that kind of concept is making sense, because it's just come through so many times now. It's been like a repeated message that's come through from Spirit around. We often look at things in a very black and white way on earth, or maybe just I do, but I think all humans can tend to, like, where we think, oh, well, if, you know, I want to be powerful, then I would just have manifested it as powerful. Or if I wanted to be healthy, I would have just manifested it as healthy. Or if I wanted to be rich, I would have just manifested as rich. And Spirit saying, like, this is sort of not the right way of looking and understanding about duality and this dimension that we happen to find ourselves in. And the way that duality works is quite different when we are trying to make progress, you know? So sometimes when something happens and it seems like, oh gosh, you know, this is really setting me back, or this is really painful or hard, actually a lot of the times that is the accelerant that you need to move your life forwards, to move. It's like a crucible of change. It's a portal almost. So Spirit's sort of just telling you that you never have to feel overwhelmed, because I'm feeling like there may be something in this group where you may have been through a lot, okay? Or you may even be aware of past life energy as well, for some of you, past life trauma that you carry as well. I feel like you're a very spiritually aware group, and you're very spiritually aware of trauma, of, you know, just the areas even in your physical body that might be holding on to things still from your past. And I feel like, yeah, there may be such a self-awareness within you that you might sometimes overwhelm yourself, or overthink it, or overanalyze, or think, how am I ever going to get through all of this healing in this life? My gosh, might feel never ending. But with the fire energy that you are possessing within your destiny, like, fire happens quite fast. When fire, you know, starts to burn, it really starts to burn, right? And it can pick up pace quite quickly. So there's something about timing within your energy field where there may be things that feel long. Like, I'm getting kind of an ancient energy. It may take, like, I don't know, I'm getting like a dragon's egg now. I'm getting the image of like an ancient dragon's egg, and something about it might take a while for it to hatch, okay? I'm seeing something about it needs a certain amount of heat. This is just the image I'm getting. It's like a beautiful dragon's egg. It feels really ornate and beautiful. And then it needs to like be sat in a fire for like a long time before it's ready to crack and the dragon's ready to hatch. And I feel like there's something here about your destiny where you have an ancient energy, you have ancient lineage that you work with, ancient sort of, yeah, soul threads, soul energies that you work with. And so it might take a little bit of time for them to fully activate and like come online for you and really, I don't know, take off in your life. Something about that. But Spirit's saying, don't worry, because the fire energy, oh my gosh, when the fire starts to burn, it starts to burn, you know, and things can really move forward quite quickly for you. I think you will have experienced already moments of quite accelerated growth where things might happen quite at once. And I feel like for some reason, there's something about your destiny path that might feel like that, where it might feel like, oh, is there nothing, there's nothing. And then all of a sudden there's this huge surge of activity or surge of momentum or things changing. And Spirit actually wants you to know this about your destiny path, is that sometimes you might have to put in a lot of effort, even without knowing if it's making any progress or results yet. Because all of a sudden, I think you're just going to have results happen. Like, I don't know, it might be you're, I don't know, changing your diet or something and eating really healthy and you're thinking, oh, is this even really doing anything? Am I even noticing anything? And then you keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And then boom, you have some kind of breakthrough with your health and you have great energy levels or better sleep or all these symptoms go away. And you're like, oh, okay, I just needed to continue and be kind of perseverant with that. So there's something here about, yeah, continue on. Even if you feel like you're not making progress, 9 times out of 10, you are making way more progress than you think. Okay. Sure. Maybe one in 10 times you may be off track and it's not the right thing. And, you're feeling a bit confused about it because it might not be quite in alignment. But I'm seeing like literally 9 times out of 10, you actually are making so much more progress than you think on your destiny path. And when you are doing things, because you have a lot of power, you chose the dragon, like you have a lot of power energy in you to really make things happen in your life. Like when you put your energy behind something you're manifesting, I don't think you actually realize how much you actually make a difference and how much you actually start to manifest things and start to make change in your life and start to get things moving and get the ball moving. I think that's something that like spirit would like you to know. I feel like your spirit team, your spirit guides, they want you to be able to see yourself more as the powerful being that you are. I feel like there's something where you got stripped from your power in this lifetime or another lifetime. And it's so bizarre. It's such a strange experience for you because you are a really, really powerful soul. I feel like this may have been really humbling. There's a lot of humility here in your soul, but this reclaiming of the power, it's nothing to do with ego. Okay. I really want you to understand that. It's nothing to do with ego, like having power over another or having power in an exploitative way. It's a very different kind of energy. It's like this innate empowerment of a soul. So when you go through this sort of pathway of healing, when you go through duality and you experience that and you can somehow still weave together this pathway where you are expressing yourself in your power, expressing yourself the way you want to. It's like a coming home, a returning to some kind of a freedom as well. The power that I'm talking about would also be a freedom. It's a freedom from restriction. It's a freedom from inauthenticity or any kind of prison that you may find yourself in. I feel like a lot of freedom energy coming through with this dragon energy. The dragon does not want to be contained or like tied up or imprisoned in any way. I'm seeing that it's like you really need space to fly. I feel like dragons would fly a really long way, right? If you think about them on the earth, like they could almost fly around the entire earth, like wherever they wanted to go. And I feel like you have that kind of energy. I feel like there's something here in your destiny that you are meant to travel in this lifetime. Spirit wants you to know that, okay? Because we have the wings. So I'm seeing like overseas travel, airplane travel. I'm definitely seeing airplane travel. I really feel like that's part of your destiny and that you are actually meant to travel the world as extensively as you feel you would like to. Obviously, everyone's different, but I feel like for a lot of you, you may actually surprise yourself by how many places you end up wanting to visit or how much travel becomes a part of some kind of a spiritual process and journey for you. Some of you may already know this and be like very aware of this, but when you travel and you just have like this newness. There's like a fresh slate energy where you can kind of reinvent your life and it gives your mind kind of almost permission to think more widely. And being in fresh environments, it does trigger like new neural pathways and all this kind of thing. So there's something here about like part of your path of healing is actually going to be traveling, or that's something that you need to know. Look, I know that sometimes overseas travel, like it might not be available right away, but I'm seeing that even if you just travel in your local area and you just go somewhere that you've never been before, like you can have the experience of travel without actually having to leave your city or your country or your town or your state or whatever. You can still have the experience of like really incredible life-changing travel without even having to stay overnight anywhere. You can just travel somewhere that you've never been, go to a new lookout, go to a new beach, go to a new nature spot, go to a new tourist attraction in your own area. Something like this I'm seeing is actually like so good for your soul and so good for your energy field. And maybe something that you might underestimate as to the impact that it actually has. I'm seeing that travel might actually be something important for your destiny. Like it will activate different things for your destiny path. For example, you might meet the love of your life when you're traveling, okay? Or you might meet a really important business partner when you're traveling and you both just happen to be in Bali and, come up with some kind of an amazing business idea together and then end up making a lot of money from it. You might have, I don't know, a realization about some truth when you are traveling. There's something about travel that it seems to trigger almost like destiny points in your life. And Spirit's asking you to lean into that as much as you would like to, and to kind of explore this side of yourself. Because I feel like even if this feels like, oh, I'm not that adventurous, or I'm not that into travel or camping or the outdoors or aeroplanes or whatever, I feel like there is something here. Like, be open to this message, however it might resonate for you, because there's something here about adventurousness. Like, you have an adventurous spirit. Some of you are super in touch with this adventurousness, but some of you aren't as in touch with it, okay? And it's still a huge part of you, though, even if you feel less in touch with this, or you feel like you're like not living it out fully right now. And adventurousness, like, you really are an adventurous soul. You have a real kind of like fearlessness. There's almost like a thick skin energy as well, if you think about it, because, oh, we have to get Ninny. There's always like a thick skin energy with the dragon, if you think about it. Like, dragons have thick skin. And I feel like there's something here, it's like where you can actually kind of handle a lot. I know that they say like travel is classically kind of stressful, as well as, life-changing and incredible. But I feel like there's something about your energy where you have a thick skin and you can kind of handle a lot of change, or you can handle a lot of heat. Yeah, there's something where it's like the dragon skin can handle the heat from the flames. It can handle it because it has to be able to, right, protect itself from its own fire. So there's something here where it's like, yeah, you can handle a lot of heat. Really interesting. You can handle a lot of heat. You might actually work okay in high pressure environments, or you might be someone who like has to have a deadline to get something done. There's something here about, yeah, you might actually work well under pressure, or you might work well if you give yourself like, oh, I have to get this thing done in this amount of time, or I don't know, something that puts some kind of pressure on. Like, you might really enjoy, I don't know, having coaching or having a personal trainer or something, like someone who kind of puts pressure on outside. I mean, I know this isn't for everyone, but for some reason I'm just seeing that might actually help you for some reason. Pressure. There's something about your life path, your destiny path, that involves a lot of pressure, like high pressure environments, high pressure situations, high pressure scenarios, um, high pressure, maybe even like relationship experiences. Gosh, yeah, you may have gone through a lot of stressful experiences and had to be kind of a voice of reason, or had to be someone who decompressed like other people. Maybe you helped other people decompress, or maybe you helped decompress a situation, like you helped to neutralize some kind of a toxic situation. You might have had to be a mediator a lot in your life as well. Yeah, you may have grown up as well in kind of a hostile environment in some way, or there may have been a lot of fighting or arguing or anger in some way, a lot of fire. Again, you can handle the heat. Okay, there's something here about you can handle the heat. You have actually a lot of strength that other people see in you as well. Spirit wants you to know this. I think you really don't always see yourself clearly, because you're a really powerful, powerful soul. And I feel like some of that ancient understanding has been a little bit lost in this incarnation. Like, you will reclaim it, don't worry. But I just feel like it's been buried under sort of like a bit of a mundane life energy that can be really hypnotizing. But I'm just feeling like your true energy is far from mundane, okay? Your true energy is extremely magical, like a dragon. Like, it's a very magical energy. It's very powerful energy. It's very potent energy. And it's certainly here for a reason. Like, you have a strong destiny path, strong destiny energy in this lifetime. But like I said, I do feel like you're meant to focus on yourself, okay? The pathway to helping others is through helping yourself first and foremost, because it's sort of like the more that you heal yourself, the more that you will breathe this fire into the world. The more fire that you breathe into the world, the more you are going to feel like, oh yeah, I'm doing my destiny. I'm living out my destiny. It's not like you're not already living your destiny, because the healing is a part of that destiny. It's a part of that path. But I do feel like you're in a really intense healing chamber at this time. And you've had experiences of breathing fire, but it hasn't been a full, consistent embodiment where like you are your dragon form, okay? I feel like you are going to have an experience where you incarnate Sorry if you can hear that airplane outside, you guys. Oh my gosh, airplane though, airplane travel. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely a part of your life. Hopefully I can edit it out with this audio software, but oh, what was I talking about? Very unfortunately, Nina has actually left, but we will continue on without her. So yeah, I feel like you're going to be like, remember I saw the dragon egg image? Okay, it was a powerful image as well. Like, it had a powerful energy, that magic around that egg. It kind of had almost like gemstones on it. It was really powerful. And I was seeing it being like incubated in a fire. Okay. It was sitting in a fire. And then I'm feeling like you are this dragon inside of this egg and you're sort of being incubated at this time. That's why I'm saying you're kind of in a healing phase right now of your destiny path. But that egg is going to crack and it's going to be time for you to be born into your dragon form. Okay. And then you are going to take the stage for some reason. Okay. For some of you, there's something about taking the stage, but you're going to kind of just like unleash your energy into the world. And you're going to very much be living in your dragon form. Okay. It's going to be very different to when you are kind of in your egg, your egg phase, right? There's something very different about it. And then you're going to be kind of breathing fire full time. I feel like you've had experiences of breathing this fire and like fully embodying this power and this wisdom and this ancient energy. But there's something about where it's like you're meant to just do this full time. You're meant to be in this dragon form of yourself full time and just have it be really effortless, you know? I'm seeing the third eye chakra here as well for your destiny, as part of your destiny in some way. I'm definitely seeing third eye chakra. I'm seeing that you're really here to work with magic and miracles and also interdimensional beings. I feel like you have a lot of friends interdimensionally and you are meant to, yeah, look at that. Nina touched the card as I said that. Like, you may actually have dragon as a spirit guide because you are working with a very ancient kind of archetype, or it might be a different archetype like a unicorn, an elf, fairies, or maybe all of them combined and you feel really drawn to them all. But yeah, I'm seeing that there's a lot here to do with your third eye. And oh yeah, because 2 plus 4 is 6 here. This card's number 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. So there's something here about your third eye in this lifetime is your part of your destiny. And I feel like there's something where you're going to be manifesting miracles or magic. I mean, the dragon egg imagery that I got was really powerful, a really strong image of like a rebirth. So you are going to be doing some kind of magic, some kind of alchemy, some kind of really deep healing. And I feel like you just have this energy as a soul that I almost feel like Spirit wants me to hold a mirror up to you to remind you of the power, the ancient energy that you have as a soul, that you are as a soul. And you kind of took on certain things knowing that you had the strength to overcome them, okay, with this archetype that you have here. You took on certain experiences, situations, ancestry, like DNA, bloodlines, lineage stuff, because you knew that you had the strength to overcome it and to heal it and to, like, you are a powerful healer. Yeah, like, you really will heal yourself no matter what. I feel like you've been healing yourself from the moment you were born, actually. Yeah, there's something about Spirit wants you to see yourself in a different light and see how much you've actually already been healing yourself. Like, you actually are a really powerful healer. You're this healing force. And I'm feeling like it's been within you from the beginning. You have this healing force where like it will overcome. It just will. It just will. And yeah, you have a strong will as well. So I also feel like, yeah, the third eye is really important for you in this life. And you may also therefore experience the shadow side of that, which is that maybe you have experiences where your third eye might get blocked or your third eye might get fuzzy or like unclear. Confusion might be something that you experience sometimes in your life, or like wanting to know the answers but feeling like you can't see them or know them. I feel like confusion is an interesting one because it feels like a shadow energy connected to your power. You're like really, really powerful. And yeah, it's interesting because you have a really powerful third eye. And there's something here about your third eye. Let's get some cards here. I was going to pull one, but then Nina decided to come back. So we'll see how many we can fit in. The mystery. Wow, for your destiny reading, the mystery. Wow. Amazing. Let's get one more. No way. Are you serious? We have the cat. Are you serious? I love that. Independence, healthy boundaries with the cat. And we have an actual cat as well, my darling. Yeah, so you working with some powerful energies in this lifetime because of who you actually just are as a soul. All right, back of the deck energy here. Actually, we actually have partnership, which I feel like it could be saying that you're actually part of your destiny is to have a very powerful love partnership union with somebody. But even the partnership, like Nina was with you for this reading, most of this reading, there's something about how I feel like spirit doesn't want you to feel like you ever have to be alone or you ever have to be, like you never have to be alone. You can choose to be alone. You can choose to enjoy being alone and all of this stuff. But there's something where it's like spirit wants you to know you're always going to be loved. You're always going to be supported. There's always going to be like someone or something there for you. Like maybe you have some kind of a deep fear, it might even be from past life, of like the fear of losing someone or like loving someone and then losing them or something like this. That may actually be because of a past life experience I'm seeing for a lot of you. Whew. Oh, for some reason, I'm getting so many messages coming in at once. I'm also getting that you might really be meant to actually have a cat in this lifetime. I mean, cats sort of find us. Like, I didn't really even adopt Nina myself. Like, I'm not going to go into the story right now, but Nina kind of just like ended up becoming my cat, even though I wasn't even the one that really adopted her. Um, so cats kind of just find you and they just sort of like fall into your life. So you might have some kind of a destiny experience with a pet though. It might doesn't have to be a cat, but some kind of an animal friend that you're meant to have a very strong partnership with, because Nina was in this reading this whole time and it might be like a really important experience for you to like learn how to love again in a way. I mean, not that we have to learn how to love again. This is not really the right way of saying it. I think we don't have to learn how to love again, but it's more like opening your heart to love again. It's like I'm seeing that. It's like you're going to open your heart to love again after, yeah, there may have been an experience that you've carried into this life or you've experienced it in this life as well, some kind of loss of love. And an animal being might really help you right now. Maybe it's more about right now, at this part of your destiny path. You may be meant to be getting a pet soon, a cat, a dog, whatever, I don't know, any kind of animal that you are able to look after, I suppose. But yeah, there's something here about partnership as well, like love union. I definitely feel like love union is happening for you in this lifetime. I'm going to pull these astro dice very gently so we don't disrupt Nina. Oh, we have Gemini, we have the first house, and we have Scorpio. Yeah, see, there's that really, really transformative energy that I was feeling in your energy field, okay, with Scorpio. Like, you are a transformer. You are someone who moves from one form to another time and time again. Like, you really are working with the energy of fire in this lifetime in terms of the energy of alchemy, of transformation, fire alchemy, where you transform from one form to another. Yeah, and you just keep doing it. And you just keep doing it. Yeah. Yeah, you do. With the first house, okay, that's really echoing that message that I was picking up on earlier in your reading where I was saying, focus on yourself, okay? Focus on yourself. For whatever reason, focus on yourself. Maybe it's because you're an overgiver. Maybe it's because of past life energy that you're working with. I don't know. Maybe it's because you often focus on others. But for some reason, you are really meant to focus on yourself a lot in this lifetime, and that will also end up nourishing the world and end up nourishing other people. It's not only going to be for you. Like, it's not self-serving, I suppose, is what I'm trying to articulate. It's bigger than that. The mystery. Yeah, you might not always know in life like how things are meant to unfold or how they're going to unfold. You're working a lot with the third eye in this life, but the third eye is very mysterious. The third eye holds the mystery. The third eye holds the portal to the unseen realm, the energy where you can't really see it or predict it or know exactly what's happening there, but we can intuit it. We can find ways of reading the mystery or being okay with the mystery or dancing with the mystery or having insights into the mystery. So there's something here about, yeah, you're a mystic, okay? That's definitely your destiny. You are a mystic. You are absolutely a mystic. You are an alchemist. You are a dragon. You're a cat. Okay, you might have a cat-like energy, okay? Because Nina is drawn to your reading like so strongly, right? So maybe you have a cat energy. But then, okay, so we have Mercury coming through as well with your destiny reading. Keep in mind, this is not your entire destiny, right? How could it possibly be? It's just like a small reading. But I feel really drawn into this theme of destiny. I'm going to do more readings into this because I feel like we could explore this all day. We could literally explore your destiny all day, and there would be infinite things that I could pick up on and that we could talk about. Do you know what I mean? So I could do heaps of different readings like this. So we have Mercury, okay? So Mercury is a planet of communication. This is about your communication. So there's definitely in your destiny, your communication. Communication can be art, it can be writing, it can be speaking, it can be channeling. You are absolutely, you absolutely are a channeler. You definitely have spirit energies. You definitely have seer vibes. You have clairvoyance. You have a lot of magical, mystical energies. You're a mystic, you're a seer, you're a dream walker. You do something in the hidden realms. Like you are definitely spiritual. But with Mercury as well, there's something about your voice really being a part of your destiny. Remember when I was talking about the image of the fire, the fire coming through that dragon breathing the fire into the world, the creative energy of that is what Spirit wants to talk about now. And you are such a creative. You are an innate creative. You are definitely meant to do creative energy full time, and you're meant to be very free in the way that you do this. You're meant to, I'm seeing that you chose to incarnate at a time when the internet was here because it would benefit your mission, because you could actually make money in a way that supported you and your soul path in a certain way. Because, when we choose to incarnate, it's not really like linear, I don't think, as far as I know. It's not like linear when we incarnate. We can choose any time period. We can be like, oh, I want to go back to this time, or I want to go to this time, or the future. Whatever time period we kind of want to experience. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of trippy when we think about how expansive that is, how many possibilities, how many experiences we can have. It's infinite. Oh my God, it's literally blowing my mind. My third eye is like expanding more and more as I think about this. So yeah, there's part of your destiny is that you're meant to be very, very creative, and you're meant to create something. You're meant to be creative with your voice, with channeling, with music, with singing, sound, healing, guided meditations, just speaking, podcasts, having really interesting things to say. Blogging, writing, publishing books, writing children's novels, writing adult novels, writing whatever, like researching things. I don't know, but there's something creative that wants to come through you, and it will be something more through chakra energy. This could be the energy of an inventor. This could even be like an architect, because you're imagining solutions, like you're thinking of creative solutions to people's life problems, where they're like, I want to fit this kind of a house into this space, and you're like, let me design it for you. I can do this. There's something here about, you can bring through imagery really well in your mind. You have a very good mind. I could see you very creative person. You must be an artist of some kind, or some kind of a channeler, spiritualist of some kind. Oh, you could be a herbalist even, or like a florist. You could do anything in multiple things as well. You might be the kind of person that's like really, really multi-talented with that Mercury energy. You could just but also be really, really, really talented at multiple things. I actually think that in your lifetime, you might have multiple careers. I feel like, I actually feel like, you will have probably multiple careers in this lifetime, and it might evolve over time. And you'll be like, oh, wow, it's really beautiful that I started in this place and then I grew and became into this place. It might grow from one place, or they might be very different from each other. Yeah, so there's something here about you're really, really talented. It's making me think of um someone that I know and she's like extremely talented in many areas, and is like professionally talented at many areas. And it's very impressive, and she's got this very good balance of kind of intellect as well as creativity. And I feel like you definitely have that with that Mercury energy, but then that fire creative, raw creative spark and talent that you have. But then you've got that intellect, that intelligence to really like pull it together. You might actually, one of the things that you might be learning in this lifetime is like how to meet your own needs, which is also why I'm seeing focus on yourself in this lifetime. Like, meet your own needs in terms of, if you're super intelligent, but you're also super spiritual, but you also like love, I don't know, data and numbers, but you also love yoga, and you also love painting and you also love rock climbing, it's like, okay, well, you love a lot of different things, or you're talented at a lot of different things. And it's sort of like, how do you meet all of your needs? Because you're just so amazing and multifaceted. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like you might have the kind of lifetime, this life where you're constantly like getting to know yourself and therefore constantly in a way reinventing yourself. You will definitely as well have really psychic experiences in this lifetime where you're shown kind of like snippets of answers to the mystery, where you're shown like a snippet of your past life. You're shown something that happened for you from another lifetime and how it impacts you in this life. Yeah, there's something here definitely about you're going to have a lot of insights psychically, dreams, really, really crazy experiences of magic. Like that is you're meant to have this. Like you could definitely even have superpowers as well, experiences of things like telekinesis and things like this, teleportation, bilocation. You could be doing all kinds of stuff in this life. Okay, I'm seeing that rebirth energy is no joke that I'm feeling in your destiny. Okay, rebirth does not happen for no reason to just nobody. Right, it's happening to you for a reason, because it's your soul's energy. Yeah, so remember to have healthy boundaries, independence, and prioritize yourself, okay? Because you got a lot you need a lot of care because oh my God, this is so bizarre, but oh my God, this is the strangest message ever, you guys, but this is what I'm getting and I'm just going to say it because it's kind of funny. You know, like, if you've ever sort of like thought about if you're going to get a dog or something and you research like different dog breeds, okay, because it's something that sometimes I do because I always dream about having a dog one day. But anyway, and I research different dog breeds and I'm like, what would it be like? What would it be like? What kind of care do they need? What kind of, home do I need to have? All these different things. What kind of lifestyle do I need to have to support this dog and their needs? Anyway, I'm kind of getting that when you incarnated into this lifetime, you took on like a really high needs avatar. Like, does that make sense? Just like if you take on like a border collie dog or something and you're like, oh my God, they need so much exercise, they need so much mental stimulation, they need games, they need, all kinds of stuff. They need relaxation, they need everything. They're like a really high needs dog. And a lot of people will say like, you really need to be in a certain situation before you could take on a border collie. Well, I know this is a really strange message, but that's what I'm getting. It's like you chose your avatar, right? It's kind of what I'm getting. It's becoming really quantum. You chose your avatar and you took on one that takes a bit more care, that takes a bit more energy. It's like a high energy avatar. It's a high needs one where it's like, oh, you're not just talented in one area where you're going to focus on, I don't know, ice skating for your entire life and you're an athlete your entire life. It's like, no, you're going to be like 5 different things in your life. And it's like, oh my gosh, how do you meet all of your needs and keep yourself interested and make sure you're like fostering your, like, you need to kind of see yourself almost like how would you like want to raise a child? Like you would want to support all of their needs, right? And you would want to support them if they're like, oh, I want to do gymnastics or I want to do, I don't know, I want to learn the violin or whatever. There's something here about like, you got to kind of like nurture yourself because you've got a lot of talent to be nurtured and like you got a lot of things that want to come out. Like you got a lot of blossoming in this life. You got a lot of flowering to do. Yeah. And there's just so many emanations of your life that you're going to experience. If you, even just to this point right now, if you sat down and told someone about the life that you've lived, people would probably be like, wow, it's like you've lived many lives within a lifetime. You've got so many different eras or so many different things that you've already experienced, that you've already done. So yeah, remember to focus on yourself, even if you are a really giving person or you have a lot of people that you need to give to. The more that you give to yourself, the more that you will nourish the relationships that you have around you in your life and that you will feel like you are a better, person as you are showing up in your relationships to others. So it's like really giving to yourself is not selfish. It's actually giving to those around you, because you're more patient, you're more loving, you're more grateful, appreciative of the people in your life. So there's something here about, prioritizing yourself, remembering that there's something about that came through your whole reading, All right, group 1, that is the end of your reading. I could probably go on infinitely looking into your destiny. It's been super interesting. And I do plan, I look forward to doing this again and looking even deeper. If you want to comment below any kind of angles that you want me to look at within this destiny kind of theme or umbrella, I'd be happy to consider them. Yeah, and I do hope that this reading did support you, activate you, help you at this time. If you'd like to check out more of my work, I feel the miracle frequency light language tape could be perfect for you in this life. It really works with the third eye and also with basically the energy of magic and miracles, which is what you are definitely here to embody in this life. So yeah, I'll link it down below. You can check it out. And I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care. Hello, Group 2, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Merlin with Alchemy, Justice, and Balance, and we're working with the number 1, card number 1. Really, really interesting energy. I feel like you will have been told that you're an old soul from a young age. I feel like that's something that you must have had, or that people treated you as if you were wise from a young age. Or as if you had some kind of answers, or maybe you were kind of like a mini psychologist or therapist or something. I'm not saying this was always necessarily healthy. It might not have been an easy role that people have placed you in, but I feel like there's something here where it's like you get placed into a position of having wisdom and being in the know, whether you like it or not. There's something about this where it's like people are just going to kind of put you into leadership positions in your life, or like turn to you for leadership or something like this, whether you are putting your hand up to offer that advice or not. So yeah, there's something about you had a very like ancient wisdom at a very, very young age, and it was really, really cute. The spirit guides are showing me you as a child was like just so adorable because you had a very like high consciousness level and awareness, but then you were just like this little kid at the same time. Aw, I'm feeling a lot of love coming from your spirit guides or your spirit team or your ancestors. There may be past over loved ones for some of you actually coming through. So I'm feeling a lot of love specifically for you in this lifetime. So it feels like it could be some kind of family or love bond that you have with someone who may be crossed over. So the Merlin, a very powerful archetype to choose energetically, right? We have a dragon depicted there. There is some kind of magical, elemental, almost witchcraft background that I feel like you have, or some kind of, maybe you were incarnated during the times of Avalon, or you connect in with that Avalon energy, or you have some kind of maybe past life as a witch or as a wizard or as some kind of a magician, working with magic in some way. I feel like working with, positive magic, not like dark magic or anything. I'm feeling like this is, working with magic of the earth in a way that is harmonious with the earth and all the elements. Yeah, and you have some kind of like really deep memory of this. I feel like you would really fit in well in like an apothecary kind of situation. Like if you had a whole cabinet of herbs and you knew what each of them meant and like what they healed and like how to use them. I feel like you have that kind of energy. I feel like you're meant to maybe grow a herbal garden and grow food and herbs and stuff. There's something here about getting in touch with a past life where you were a witch or a herbalist or you did some kind of magic ritual ceremonies. Spirit saying you're meant to kind of bring that back in this lifetime. I'm sure some of you already are, but I'm just kind of speaking generally. You're meant to bring in that some kind of those ancient practices again into your modern life, because it's going to make you feel a lot more content. It's going to make you feel a lot more fulfilled. It's going to make you feel a lot more soul aligned with like the truth of who you are. It's going to make you feel more spiritually connected. So for example, maybe it's like I said, having a herb garden where you know all these different herbs and you know how to use them and you can help your community by giving them to them. It's like, well, if that's what you feel the most inspired to do, then I feel like you were a herbalist in a past life. Do you know what I'm trying to say? There's some kind of past life that wants to come through for you right now at this point in your destiny. And it wants you to embody it. It wants to like come in and like, boom, be integrated and for you to embody it. And it really is just going to come so easily for you. Okay, it's going to come so easily for you. Like, for example, if you listen to this reading and you're like, you know what? I have always wanted to have a herb garden. I have always wanted to know about herbs and plant them and da-da. And then you do it. And then all of a sudden, like all of this information is, you find the best book ever and it's, you love it and it's revealed, like all this information is revealed and the herb garden grows really well and then you just fit into this role really easily. It's like that kind of thing where it's like all of a sudden this thing happens really fast. It's actually reminding me of when I learned how to read tarot, because before that I actually had been given tarot decks for like a couple of years. Even my mum had them growing up and stuff. But I never really knew how to read it. And I would pull tarot cards and then I would be like, well, I don't know what it means. And even if I pulled oracle cards, I still would like read from the book and still kind of like not really know. And then in 2019, when I had my gifts come online, I felt like I also had this experience happen where during that spiritual awakening, I had a lot of past lives come back to me. And I feel like in a past life, I feel like really familiar with tarot, or I use some kind of divination. Like I feel like for some reason when those gifts came online, like tarot came to me so quickly. Like it really happened really fast and I studied it and I just became obsessed with it and I loved it so much. And it was a joy to study it and to learn it. And then even though, like I said, I'd been playing around with decks for years, it just hadn't clicked. And then all of a sudden it did. And it was great. And now it's definitely like an integrated part of me. So I feel like it's something like this where you have some kind of an innate skill and it's something you're destined to use in this lifetime. Like it's there for a reason. You're meant to embody it. You're meant to do it. And it's wanting to come online and come in now. So maybe it's tarot reading for some of you guys. Maybe it's astrology. Maybe you were an astrologer in a past life and that's why you've always been really interested in the stars or in, reading the astrology forecasts for every week or whatever. There's something that if you look at yourself, you'll be like, oh yeah, that is innately me. That is always been there, a thread that's always been there. And now it's time to become more than a thread. It's time to become something that, you really are embodying and doing as a part of your life. Yeah, for some of you, this could be about gardening. Maybe you were like a farmer in a past life, or you grew up on the land, or you grew up in a much more less modern civilization, and you need to get back to those roots in some way. For some of you, maybe it's like you were an inventor in a past life or something, and you had a brilliant mind, and there's something about you're only going to feel your greatest when you're like in your workshop creating new things or inventing new solutions. I don't know, something like this where it's like a past life energy. It's just ready, wants to come through, wants to come in for you, at this time. And it's going to feel really good to integrate it. So that's what's going on right now with your destiny. But let's pull some cards and such, see what else wants to come through. Ooh, looking at the clock, it's 111. Yes, we love it. All right, and you got card number 1 as well. Really interesting. So yeah, you might be quite independent. There might be an energy in you. Like, I just feel like people look to you for leadership, and this may have sometimes surprised you. But you do have this natural ability to kind of like take charge, and you have also like a natural, what is it? A natural readiness to stand out from the crowd. You do it without trying. You just have an energy that is different. Some of you may be meant to be on stage in this lifetime. Some of you may be meant to really stand out, really be in leadership, really be in some position of visibility, influence. Maybe for some of you as some kind of a creator, like how musicians become famous. There's something like this where your energy might be meant to be seen by a lot of people and distributed by a lot of people. Distributed by a lot of people? Interesting. Well, I'm seeing that, a lot of you, this could be career energy where you're meant to be somehow kind of seen. You may have just gravitated to positions of independence, leadership, or kind of being your own, like an entrepreneurial kind of energy. You're definitely meant to have a lot of freedom with your job. Okay, so let's get these astro dice for you. All right, so we have, interesting, we have the South Node. Wow, that gives me kind of chills because that's confirmation of the past life energy that I was picking up for you, remember? Oh my gosh. Okay, we have the South Node, we have the 7th house, and we have Gemini in the astro dice. So the 7th house can talk about relationships and marriages and partnerships and things like this, but the 7th house can also talk about our shadow. Okay, like the things about ourselves that we might not fully see, you know? And they can be good things. It can be, whatever, things that may not be the best. It can be all kinds of things. But in this case, there's something about you have a really prominent past life energy, okay? Some of you may have been famous in a past life, actually. Some of you may have been famous in a past life, and this somehow is like, you got like something to do with a heavy destiny to bear, like because of the legacy. It's giving me, like, imagine, I don't know, the kid of a celebrity or something, and they have a lot to like live up to, or they kind of thing, because like the whole world is sort of judging them based on the lineage they're coming from. There's something here about your lineage where it's like might put pressure on you as a soul, or there's something in the context of your past life where, I don't know, it weighs heavy on you in some way. This is part of why it's wanting to be integrated at this time, so that it doesn't weigh heavy on you. Because maybe, for example, like, I don't know, maybe for example, in a past life, you were a dancer, you were a famous dancer. And then in this life, you've always wanted to dance, but maybe there's been some kind of like even physical illness that you've had to overcome so that you could embody that flow energy again, or you've had injuries or something that has prevented you from that energy. There's something here where it's like, you may not have available to you something that you had available in your past life, or maybe in your past life you had magical abilities and you were like literally doing magic. You're a wizard or a witch or something, and you had way more access to magic. And then in this life, you feel that disconnection from spirit, and you're like, this doesn't feel right. This feels wrong. This doesn't feel right. There's something here where, yeah, you really have some kind of a shadow hanging over you this life, or from a past life, But it's like a positive thing that you experienced in a past life, though. That's the thing. It's not so much like shadow from like trauma, It's not that. It's like shadow from, you were really powerful in a past life, really famous, really successful, really embodied, really living out a dream of yours. Like for some of you, yeah, maybe you were famous. For some of you, for some reason, I'm getting that. And it just feels like it's like a yearning in this life of like, I want to be free again. I want to be free. I want to express this again. I want to be able to embody this again. I want to be able to have this gift again. Yeah, I want this gift again because it feels like it's yours. So it's really interesting that you've chosen in this life to have the experience of like not having it, because in your past life, like I said, this one that feels really like it's hanging over this life of yours. In this past life, you really were remarkable. I mean, it's not that you aren't in this life. It's just that there's something about it where you really were, like you were almost like a savant, like, a genius, maybe some of you, or like a really brilliant musician, those like classical pianists or something that is just like incredible skill and talent. It might have been something really specialized and focused, I feel, in this past life that you did, or that you were. Like a dancer, a famous dancer, a famous scientist, or a brilliant genius. Somehow you're a genius in your field, or a musician, like a brilliant musician, or a witch, like who could literally cure people, and people would come from miles to come to you. Or you were a wizard or something. You had literal, like, you were incarnated to a time on earth when maybe there was more magic embodied on the day-to-day. There was a different landscape. And you remember that, and it's hanging over this lifetime. And you're like, why can't I have that again? Why can't I have that? And it's part of your lifetime to have this, to bring that about in this life. But you're doing it through alchemy. You're doing it through moving from one form to another, from a form where you don't have it to a form where you do. Okay, and Gemini, you might have like infinite questions. You might have this infinite question energy where you're just constantly wanting to ask questions and have the answers. I feel like one of the gifts that you are going to experience and you're destined to experience in this lifetime is around Akashic Records reading. I feel like you're meant to read the Akashic Records, and you're meant to have all of your answers answered. Like you're meant to be able to have a question come up and then go into meditation or look within or pull cards or whatever form of channeling or divination or like reading Akashic Records that you do. maybe an image will come to you, an answer, or your guides will show you a synchronicity or show you a book or something. You will have your answers, okay? That's something that your spirit guides really want you to know, because I feel like you have a very inquisitive mind, you have a very curious mind, you have a very intelligent mind, and it might never turn off. There is something where you may have had way more questions than you've had answers, and you may feel a bit restless or dissatisfied with this because you want more answers. You want more understanding. You might also be very concerned with themes of justice in this life, themes of balance, themes of fairness, themes of distribution, like distribution of resources across the world. How if we did things differently, if we, grew food differently, if we cared for our environment differently, we wouldn't need all of these situations that we could eradicate poverty. We could do things so differently. I feel like maybe you are a bit of a visionary. You're meant to, in your destiny path, you're meant to be a visionary, which is again that leadership energy. You're meant to be a visionary. You're meant to be a leader. You're meant to see a better life, see a better earth, and see an earth that others might think is ideal, is idealized. It's like, oh, that's too good to be true. You hold the codes of too good to be true, okay? But it's not too good to be true because it actually is. You have architecture genetics. You have some kind of architecture DNA where you can create worlds, okay? You have visionary. You're a visionary. Yeah, you're an inventor, you're a visionary, you're an architect, you're a creator, but it's on a large scale. You're a revolutionary kind of leader as well. You could also be a very motivational speaker. You could really help pep people up, motivate people, make people believe again, make people think, yeah, wow. You have a very inspirational energy. I would be surprised if it was not going to happen that you would become famous in this lifetime, okay? I feel like inevitably you will probably become famous in a way in this life, okay? Famous doesn't have to mean social, because I feel like some of you could definitely be hermits. Some of you could definitely be, enjoy solitude or enjoy that and the peace and quiet from doing your own thing. But there's just something about the distribution of your energy where I feel that spirit will want to dish up this wisdom to others. And I feel like you will have found yourself in leadership energies. People may have copied you a lot in your life, like copycats, or followed you, and you have a real independence and originality that is so rare on this earth, that is so special on this earth. And I just feel like, how could this not kind of go viral or go famous, or anything that you work on, anything that you do that is a true expression of your destiny will be successful. Actually, back of the deck, I was about to pull more cards for you, right? Back of the deck, we have wealth. So I feel like it is actually in your life path to be very, very wealthy and abundant. This could be millionaire, multimillionaire. This could even be billionaire for some of you if you took on that destiny path. If you were to be extremely wealthy, then that would mean, again, more leadership, okay? And that's the kind of energy that I feel from your soul, that I feel you took on. See how there's like an old man, like the old man Merlin kind of depicted here? It's like you have this ancient energy where you can kind of handle a big role, and you can handle, like the leadership of, because think about it, more money, more problems. No, I'm kidding. But it's like if you were a billionaire and you are a spiritual person in alignment with New Earth, then you would use that money to create New Earth, right? That's the kind of energy that I'm feeling for you. It's like you might be given that kind of a role where it's like you are going to be given a lot of money, but it's for the benefit of humankind. It's for the benefit of all of life. It's for the benefit of even just like the environment of the earth. It's to become, to open up environmental sanctuaries. It's to do some kind of charity. It's to be philanthropic. It's to end homelessness. It's to provide food, food banks. It's some kind of, you might be meant to work really with wealth in this lifetime, in a very therapeutic, charitable kind of way. Charity isn't even the right word. It's more like humanitarianism, and like doing what, if you could do, like what change would you want to see in the world, like right from your heart, what change you want to see in the world. And I feel like you're the kind of person that actually makes that change happen, and that actually does something about it. And that's what your destiny is. You are definitely, I feel like, meant to be very materially wealthy in this lifetime. If you're not already, then I feel like it will come in for you. But with that will come responsibilities. With great power comes great responsibility, but you knew this, you signed up for this. You signed up for this level of wealth, because we can be rich and like have a lot of money for ourselves, but there's there's like another thing, there's another level of being the level of rich that I'm feeling for you, where it's like, it's the kind of rich where it's like, you gotta, do something with that money. Because otherwise, like, there's a karmic responsibility. Do you know what I mean? To having that kind of money. So that's part of your destiny, is you're going to have a lot of responsibility to do with money, but it's going to give you this great like sense of freedom where you feel like, oh, but I'm actually being the change that I want to be in the world, and I'm actually doing the projects of like what I want to see happen in the world, what I want to see changing in the world. So it's like, it's going to be very satisfying to you as well. It's like, well, of course it's going to be satisfying because it's literally your destiny. And I feel like with the Gemini energy, you might have a lot of ideas as well. You might constantly have ideas. You might constantly have inventions of like, this could solve this problem. Or imagine if we just structured the world like this and we could do this instead. And you have maybe this very intelligent mind that's constantly coming up with solutions to the world around you as you're experiencing it. Where you're like, oh, this could end loneliness, or this could end homelessness, or like there's something here where like you're really, really intelligent with the way you think of things, and it kind of is very all-encompassing as well. Like the idea would be, like, I don't know, ending homelessness with earthships or tiny homes or like whatever. There's some kind of a thing that I feel like you have this way of like intersecting with, the environment and taking care of animal rights as well as, human rights. And something about this, you somehow have this broad like way of looking at things. You look at things as a whole. You look at things, you're very humanitarian. You're very much a leader. You just are. You're a natural leader, whether you like it or not. Some of you may be more accepting of this about yourself than others. I feel like some of you, there's a reluctance here to the leadership, because it's funny, but sometimes the best leaders, are the most reluctant ones. Okay, so let's get you some more cards, right? So with that 7 card here as well, there could be love as well as part of your life path. 7 can talk about marriage and relationships. So I feel like you would have the kind of, like, you might have a very spiritual, I feel like you definitely have a destined person. They would be someone that you have lived many lifetimes with already, or many soul incarnations with already. With the South Node there, that would be someone that you already know like deeply at a soul level. And this would be a soulmate or a twin flame kind of level of soul connection. And this would be someone who, once you meet them, this would be your person. Like, this level of soul bonding would be very hard to break up in a lifetime. And I definitely don't see it happening for you guys. I see a very deep bonding, a marriage, a union at a spiritual level, a spiritual union, a spiritual marriage are coming together, right? Whether or not you actually legally get married or not, there's like a deep bond there. And I feel like with this relationship, it's destined that you have really good communication and that you're constantly like talking to each other and chatting and telling each other what's been going on. And it's very open, it's very vulnerable, it's very authentic, it's very expressive and chatty and fun and playful as well. There's a lot of play, fight, like play fighting, tickle fighting. There's something really playful and like youthful about this person. Your soulmate connection, your twin flame connection is very youthful. Yeah, there's something about your youthfulness coming through. Okay, so we have the Raven, we have magic, coincidence, and synchronistic events. So what is your destiny? Your destiny is magic. Your destiny is to do actual magic on this earth. Probably the kind of magic that people don't think is possible, that people think is really restricted to the realm of fantasy, basically, is the kind of level of magic that I'm talking about is part of your destiny. Okay? And that's kind of a big destiny, right? But you have some kind of a past life memory, or you will in this life. It's your destiny to remember a past life of yours. And it's going to like give you some, like, you're meant to remember it for a reason, because it's going to give you some kind of, almost like a boost or like a leg up in your confidence of yourself. Like, it's going to make you remember who you really are. It's like, oh, I remember how powerful I actually am. I remember like what I'm actually capable of, or what I've already experienced, what I've already done. And somehow, like I said, this past life theme, maybe there's more than one past life, but the past life energy for you in this life feels really significant. And you're meant to have kind of like an open vision of your past lives. You're meant to be able to kind of just see your past lives and see them and read them and view them, remote view them almost. And get, like a lot of information about these to kind of help you as you move forward on your path. But you are meant to do something that's like straight up magic. Straight up, how did you do that? Like placebo, you are the placebo, like placebo healing yourself. Or it's it's giving me like fantasy novel energies, like the portal in Narnia, where they go through the portal, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the Narnia portal, through the wardrobe, and they go into another world. Like, you might be meant to move interdimensionally almost the way that other beings can in this world, in this realm. Yeah, there's something about you're meant to almost become. This is crazy. You're meant to do things that, yeah, people would think like, this is crazy. This is impossible. How is this possible? This isn't even possible. But it is. Yeah, it is. And especially as well, once you meet your soulmate or twin flame, like I feel like you're meant to do magic together with this person as well. And that you both hold fields of belief. You might also meant to be experiencing solitude in some way in this lifetime. Like, I'm getting a lot of a crown chakra energy from you. And you might need a lot of solitude. You might need a lot of time alone. You might need a lot of time sort of disconnected from like the collective consciousness more so than anything else, disconnecting from humans and the noise of like cities and the grid of like the Wi-Fi and the EMFs. Like, you need solitude and that ability for your crown chakra to really connect with the divine. And I feel like nature is a part of that, because when we are in nature, our energy, we ground in to the energy of the earth instead of the EMF and like that false energy grid that is around the cities, which really blocks actually a lot of spiritual connection and spiritual experience, which is why you often hear a lot of stories when people go camping or they go out like holidaying into the middle of nowhere. They'll have like really crazy psychic experiences or spiritual phenomena, like spiritual visions, or they'll see interdimensional beings or UFOs, aliens, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, you're meant to live like basically in the most spiritually incredible place. Like, I feel like you're meant to live on the site of a portal almost between realms. And you might have a lot of movement and activity that happens interdimensionally on the place where you're meant to be like situated. I could see you living in the middle of nowhere, because I'm seeing you're meant to have very little resistance around you. There's meant to be like no resistance in the energy field around you. It's meant to be like very thin, and therefore a lot of connection to spirit. Remember how I was saying like in the cities, there is this sort of like false energy grid in the cities where energy becomes very compacted by like EMF and Wi-Fi and everyone else's auras kind of meshing together. And it's an interesting energy. And there's pros and cons to, I guess, everything. But I'm just seeing like when you're out of that grid, your psychic abilities like instantly get better and more clear, and you have a lot of downloads and channeling. Yeah, I'm seeing a strong crown chakra energy here around. You might need solitude and the ability for kind of like peace and quiet, meditation, rumination, like silence, or being around people or someone that don't feel noisy to you. Like, I feel like you might have a sensitive energy where you get sensitive to like noise, even if it's just psychic noise, and there's something, where I feel like at least for periods of time, it doesn't have to be all the time, but at least for periods of time, you're meant to go through kind of like little retreats and have solitude. It might even be for years at a time. You're meant to go retreat and kind of have your own thing going. A lot of you, I feel like, would really work better working remotely, not working around other people. Definitely. I feel like working remotely and living remotely ideal for this energy that I'm picking up on, and really to explore your crown chakra a bit more. Your crown chakra is like powerful. You might realize like, oh, I can actually lock myself away in solitude and get so much work done. Like that's something I feel like could be part of your destiny, is to realize like a little bit of how you can most be productive, or how you can most get sort of like things done. I feel like you definitely have a lot more magic available to you. Maybe you do realize it, but maybe some of you don't realize it. But some of you actually do know how much magic you have. And it's your destiny to like completely experience magic in this life, like really, really real life magic, like real life magic, and not just some of the time, but I'm seeing it's meant to be all of the time. Yeah. This is pretty interesting energies, You got a really interesting life here. A lot of focus here was on magic and on like disconnecting yourself from cords. Like, I'm seeing the crown chakra, disconnecting yourself from cords of things that aren't serving you, like disconnecting yourself from the collective unconscious, right? That might make you doubt if magic is real, disconnecting yourself from, I don't know, people that, like, there's maybe a lot of disconnecting, like disconnecting yourself from people who you don't resonate with, disconnecting yourself from kind of limiting beliefs. Yeah. There's a lot of letting go of cords so that you can manifest something that is really a very remarkable destiny that is way outside of the ordinary. Your life is like way outside of the ordinary, and you're meant to manifest like way remarkable things that people, like I said, would probably think is not possible. That is like not even possible, but that's your destiny. So it is possible because it's your destiny. Man, this is tripping me out. Like, you might have a lot of really trippy experiences where you realize like how reality works and like how to bend and shape reality, like how to, yeah, there's something really crazy. Like, you know, when they say like life is a dream and then you can start to kind of live it as if it is, there's something like about this here. You're meant to have a lot of insights into reality in this lifetime and have a lot of insights into like how to work with reality and how to work with magic. And yeah, okay. That is really all we have time for your reading group too, but I so enjoyed looking into your destiny. I'm keen to do more of these destiny readings. If you would like to check out more of my work, I feel really called to recommend the solar aura activation light language for you for some reason. I feel like that one, I felt that, the energy of that light language tape like with me as I was doing your reading. For some reason, it just kept like being there. So I feel like if you already have that tape, definitely give it a listen and work with it for a little while. I feel like it could be one that's good to work with for your like lifetime, really. And if you would like to check it out, I'll link it down below. You can read more about it. It's a light language healing. It's for very protective, very clearing of the aura and very activating for that solar plexus chakra. But there's something here about how I feel like it's going to help you maybe integrate your past life or something at this time. Anyway, I'll link it down below. But yeah, other than that, I'm just sending you so much love and light. Take care. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Faery, creative action and optimism on your card. So I feel like you have some kind of otherworldly energy too. You might have a fairy kind of vibe, or you might, you know fairies, sort of have kind of relationship with interdimensional beings. But I feel like you yourself kind of look like one. There might be something about your appearance that's to do with your destiny. I'm just getting a strong, like, striking energy from the way that you look, and you kind of like turn heads or people notice you. You look different. You look magical. You look like you have a different kind of aura and you have a different kind of energy. Yeah, you definitely seem different and you stand out and you shine. It's like your light is a different color to other people's and it turns heads. It makes people notice. You have a very magnetic kind of energy, and I feel like your magnetism is to do with your destiny as well. There's something about, yeah, you're definitely meant to learn how to work with the feminine energies in this lifetime. Like, I think that's a huge part of your destiny. And there's also something as well about you're an artist. Like, your archetype is an artist, like a wild energy. You're meant to be very wild, very free, like a free spirit. You're meant to walk to the beat of your own drum. Like, you're meant to go with your own flow, go with your own rhythm, and really live by your own cycles and seasons and not by anyone else's. I feel like that's something that you might be learning or you've already learned, is that you really can't make yourself fit into someone else's world. You really need to create your own and live wild and live free and live in touch with your feminine essence and feminine energy. There's something here about manifesting through the feminine is a huge part of your destiny. I feel like many of you know this, or you're meant to work with the energy of the goddess in this lifetime. Many of you may already work with the energy of the goddess, but I feel like you have some kind of goddess like archetype or some kind of otherworldly archetype that you hold. You might even look like a fairy, or you look like an elf, or you look like an angel, or you look like, I don't know, like some kind of magic energy in your appearance or something like this. But yeah, I feel like there's something here as well about your creative self-expression in this lifetime is a huge part of your destiny. Like, your art is your art and your artistic ability. I tried to say two things at once. Your art and your artistic ability in whatever way, like, you're a creative, you really are just that classic archetype of kind of like the wild and free artist. And that's how you're meant to be, or where you're meant to be. But I feel like there may be some journey that you're on in this lifetime around creative self-expression. Like, I feel like there is a lot of self-discovery that you are meant to be doing while you are on this path of being an artist. Like self-growth and self-development, I guess. Yeah, it's sort of like the path of your art and your creative self-expression, whatever that is for you, your creativity. That path is like the perfect self-development pathway for your soul in this lifetime. It's like you planned yourself a little self-development course, and you would go through kind of, I don't know, some kind of highs and lows around being a creative soul. You might be wired really differently than the rest of the world. You might be like neurodivergent, or just feel like you just have always been different and like kind of wanted to go explore your own avenues in life. And I feel like one of the things that I feel like your spirit wants you to know about your destiny at this time is like you can seriously dare to dream so big, okay? You can dream so big and you can actually pull it off. You have a really, really powerful energy, and you really, really have to let go of comparisons on your destiny path, okay? Comparisons will not ever basically serve you, because the thing is that you can't compare your life path to the path of others, because you're not living like you are not them, they are not you. You have your own path, and the things that you are capable of achieving, there may not be a blueprint for this. There may not be someone else who's already achieved this. You might not be able to look around and be like, oh, well, this person has this goal that I want. There may be like bits and pieces of inspiration, but I feel like there's something here about not comparing, not even in the sense of like, oh, I feel less than because of this person. I'm talking about even comparing in terms of like, because you might have a dream or an idea and then think, but I literally haven't heard of anyone who's ever done this before. And comparing in that way and thinking, well, if no one else has done it, is it really possible? Is it really safe? Is it really, I don't know, and starting to doubt, because there's no, like, you're a trailblazer. You're going to be the first of your kind, or the first of your kind that you've heard of, that that you have access to right now in terms of knowledge. So there's something here about, really being truly original, really being truly unique, and that being such a powerful like thing about you. You're a powerful, powerful, beautiful force of creative life force. I feel like you're just so creative, and you have such a light to you, such a fiery energy, such a fairy magic kind of energy to you. And your pathway will look very different to others, and it may even take you in a different direction. Like, I'm kind of seeing a group of people, and they enter a meadow or a clearing or something in a forest, and everyone in the group goes to the left or to one direction, and then you go to the other, to the right, to a different direction. But you're going in the right direction. Do you know what I mean? You're going to the right direction for you. It's just that it's going to look different to where everyone else is going. And that might make you feel like, oh my gosh, am I meant to be like over there with everyone else? Because that seems to be where everyone else is. But then you feel intuitively like, no, but I want to be over here on my own, exploring this tree or whatever this thing. So there's something about really letting yourself be truly wild and truly free in this life. You're not meant to have anything that keeps you held back or held down. Like, you're not meant to have, a schedule or a 9 to 5 or like these kinds of things. Like, you're just meant to really live outside of that and live in a very, very alternative way. Like, your life path will be extremely alternative, and that's the only way that you'll be happy. You're going to be happy living a very alternative existence. And the more alternative, the better for you, honestly. Even like, I feel like you're probably someone who's into really niche things or really obscure things that like hardly anyone else knows about, really small communities. What do they call them? Like culture, microculture, subcultures, that's right. Really small like subcultures. You might belong to like many of them. I feel like you're just a very unique, very diverse kind of person. And Spirit's just asking you to embrace this, because I feel like there's been some kind of conditioning around just like the magic of who you are, where you may not have really be able to witness this because it's been so different to everyone else. Like, I just keep seeing that thing where someone's separate to the rest of the group and they're like on their own, and you might not really be able to fit in, or you might not really like the other people, you might not really have anything to talk about with them, or they might not understand your sense of humor or your art or something like this. And you're just wired differently. But yeah, now I'm seeing something about your destiny is that you will find a sense of belonging in this lifetime. You will find a sense of, your people, your soul family, this kind of thing. I do feel like that is something that will happen for you. I know that there may be times in your life where you feel like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to feel like I really fit in? Am I ever going to feel like I've found my people or something like this? But yeah, you definitely are going to find the right people that you feel like, well, I'm basically wired for these people. Like, instead of feeling like you're wired differently, you're going to feel like who you are makes perfect sense when you're around these people. And I think that's going to be such a nice relief. And that's really the goal of your life in general, is to like live a life that makes perfect sense to you and that feels perfectly right to you, even if it's totally different to other people's. You also have the ability to manifest things that other people would not be able to do. And again, this might make you hold yourself back sometimes, because you might be like, oh, well, no one that I know would be able to manifest this, so I guess I can't. And Spirit's like, actually, the rules apply differently to you. You absolutely can manifest things. So really, again, don't compare your life, because you can't. It won't give you any information. It won't give you any data. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're comparing, but you're coming up with, kind of irrelevant ideas about it. And Spirit's like, actually, no, you can manifest this thing, or you can have this profound experience. You can live outside of the norm. You can do your art full time. You can make a living. Like, you're meant to make a very alternative way of making a living, and also do it in a way that gives you a lot of free time to create, or that is something like doing what you love, like a musician who tours and is creating and is performing and is meeting people. And it's, this kind of flow state energy of like what they want to be doing. That's the kind of peak energy that you are meant to. That's your destiny. Like, you're meant to live in flow state with your creative talents, whatever they are. They might be many, many varied ones. You're meant to live in alignment with them and get paid to do that, and not really have too much of a schedule, or not really have too much of a, like, being told what to do. You're meant to be very free and wild, and you might rebel as well if you are told what to do, or you might not just do very well if you have, I don't know, schedules or deadlines, or people being like, create this art for me, make this piece for me. And it's like, well, maybe you don't want to make your art for someone else. You want to do it for yourself. Like, there's something here about independence, and you can live it on your own terms, basically. Spirit wants you to know that, even if it feels so idealistic. And that's the thing that would hold you back would be other people's jealousy, or other people thinking like, oh my gosh, you have it so easy, don't you? Like, that kind of negative thing that we can have from community. I feel like there's something really strong here in your destiny path about learning how to fit in, or learning how to not fit in some cases, right? Learning about both, and realizing that you can't like shrink yourself to make other people around you more comfortable. You can't like censor parts of you and just be like, oh, I'm just going to pretend like I don't care about the environment around these people, because they don't care about the environment, and I don't want to seem different. Do you know what I mean? There's something here about like learning about these kinds of themes around authenticity and fitting in, and how we can also subconsciously change ourselves because we want to fit in. And I feel like that's something that you're really, Spirit's saying, like, one of the biggest breakthroughs for you in this lifetime, or maybe it's going to be a series of them, is when you let go more and more of realizing that other people don't have the answers, like in other people's lives. Like, just like I said, just because your parents or your family or ancestors, they never made enough money from their art or something to live, that doesn't mean that has to be your life story. That doesn't mean that has to be your experience. But I feel like there's a lot of this very feminine energy in you where you look for connection, and you're like looking outside of yourself, and you're thinking, oh, well, like all of my friends, they had to do this X, Y, and Z to get a good job. Like, they had to go to college and to get a good job. Maybe I have to do that. And it's like Spirit saying, don't compare yourself. Your life path is so original and it's so unique, but it's going to work so well for you. And it's going to be, sure, maybe something that your friends or other people, they couldn't pull this off. Maybe they couldn't. And that doesn't mean that you can't, though. And that's what Spirit really wants, this like distinction, kind of more of an independence. I'm feeling like Spirit's kind of wanting almost like your masculine energy to come out here, and to say like that, to really define that you are different, to have these boundaries from the people around you, to be like, you are different. The rules of manifestation are different to all of us. What is available to us, what we're manifesting, our past life, our karma, what our beliefs are, what we think is possible. And you just happen to be plain magic. Like, you're so magical. So it's like you can literally manifest things that other people around you are not going to be able to mirror that back to you and be like, hey, yeah, you can definitely manifest this thing. Okay. Because in their world, in their paradigm, they're going to be like, this is impossible. But you're meant to live in that impossible energy, and you're meant to just do your own thing. And you're going to make money in a way that probably people will be envious of your lifestyle. Okay. This is your destiny. I gotta tell you, this is your destiny. Your destiny is to like basically make a lot of money passively, like through some kind of, probably something that you produce, like some kind of a product, of your art. You sell your paintings, you sell your music, you sell, I don't know, you are a dance performer, you sell performances. Like, I don't know, there's something that you are going to do that's very creative. It could be anything, like, I'm just sort of giving basic examples, but there's something here where you're meant to sell it and have it as like to give yourself a lot of free time for creative flow. Basically, you're meant to not have a job that ties you down very much, and one that you love every minute of. Like, if you're a musician and you love spending 6 to 9 months of the year touring, then it's like, well, then you can do that. That's what you want to do. There's something here about, doing the life that you love, having the passion to like really live that out. That's your destiny. Your destiny is to have a very passionate existence, to really love your life, like love it to bits, love every moment of it, to be doing what you love, to be living in alignment, to have things flow to you very effortlessly. And again, I'm seeing a lot of jealousy around you in your life path. This is part of your destiny, is to know how to deal with jealousy, because the things that you are going to manifest, people will be inherently jealous of. This is things like money, wealth, abundance, but in a way that doesn't destroy your health or your, well-being, or it doesn't take away all your time from your family or your other things you want to do from life. You're going to have so much time and money and be doing what you love. And I'm just seeing people thinking like, wow, the gods shined upon you in this life. Like, that's what people are going to think. There's a lot of bitterness and resentment. And I feel like you've had to deal with that in some way all your life, because even if you've gone, even if you haven't had things, even if you haven't manifested things, like, this still lives in your aura and you can't escape it. This is part of your destiny. You can't escape people having this jealous reaction to you. Even if you tried to dim your light, even if you tried to not be successful and not do things that made people jealous of you and not have an amazing life, people would still be inherently jealous of you, because there's something in your energy. There's a light in your energy field, in your aura. And it's just profound. It's just magic. And it also is this light of magnetism and this light of manifesting things effortlessly. And that kind of coding within someone, the more that I've started to, live life and gain some understanding, I find that people really jealous of that kind of energy signature in people. When you have that effortless energy signature like you do, it's about being touched by the energy of the goddess. It's about being touched by the energy of the feminine. You have a gift with the feminine, okay? It doesn't matter your gender. You have a gift with the feminine where you are able to manifest things really effortlessly. You're able to manifest things in a way that people are like, that's so unfair. How did they do that? Oh my God, they didn't even try. I'm getting a lot of pain actually in my heart as I'm tuning into this for you, because I'm feeling like there's been a lot of jealousy and resentment and blame and like projection onto you, and it may have really alienated you in relationships, because even though I feel like you're someone who would be universally loved and liked and very popular, again, with this energy signature, with this kind of resentment and jealousy that I can foster within others, that can be a very lonely path. That can be a very kind of isolating path, because you can subconsciously sense it in others. Even if they don't say it out loud, you can still subconsciously sense it within others, and it makes you shrink and it makes you smaller and it makes you kind of not shine as brightly around that person. Do you know what I mean? So part of your destiny is that you're going to find people that you can really shine brightly with, that you can really shine brightly around, where you're not going to feel like, oh, I have to dim my light, or they're jealous, or they're like, none of that. It's going to be a totally different flow and totally different energy experience for you. I feel like you are very popular actually. Despite the fact that I said you may have not always fit in with others, you're still a very popular person. And I feel like you might also be meant to be in the spotlight in some way. Like, you're very you would be an amazing performer. You're very captivating. I feel like people who get to know you, or like people who meet you, even people who don't know you, I'm seeing people staring at you like on public transport or in a public space. Like, people feel captivated by you. Yeah, there's something about you that turns heads. There's a light, there's a beauty, there's an otherworldliness, there's a magic that you have. And it is very captivating. I'm seeing people also, when they get to know you, they feel hypnotized by you. They feel like, oh my gosh, I can't turn away. I I can't stop listening to the way this person talks or tells stories, and they just want to keep asking you questions and just getting lost looking into your face. Like, there's also a lot of romantic energy here, but I feel like there might be, mm, I don't know, you might have like quite an experience of romance in this life. Again, I'm getting so much jealousy. I'm feeling like that's one of the biggest things that you're here to experience and heal from, because yeah, that's right. I was feeling the pain in my heart around people being jealous of you, because it can be very isolating relationally, like, and I feel like there's some pain there in your heart, and you also have the empathy for the pain that they're in, because this is also a very interesting energy signature that you hold. That's part of your destiny, is that you are kind of meant to trigger people and make them jealous. Okay. I know that might sound shocking. It might even be triggering to hear that, but that's what I'm getting. It's like, I just feel like there's something here where you are actually meant to be someone who people feel jealous of, because it makes people reflect on themselves. There's something about the way that you go through life, the way that you manifest things. People instantly want it if they hear you talking about it. There's something, I think it's like the embodiment that you have of life, the way you like love life. It's like the love you have for life. It like makes people want what you have. They're like, oh, well, I want to feel that. It's really something about the way you can feel. It's really the feelings that you have. Like, you have amazing feelings. You have an amazing way of feeling your life, and like the exuberance of it, the joyfulness of it, the playfulness of it, the enjoyment of it, the fulfillment of it. Even when you are experiencing, quote unquote, negative emotions, sadness, grief, anger, frustration, anxiety, fear, there's something about it that still people find really beautiful to witness, because it's sort of like the flow of life going, like, there's something about you that people cannot help but just want to watch. They want to watch you, okay? You are definitely meant to put yourself out there creatively, even just anything, even just speaking, just the way that you speak and talk about anything. People find it so hypnotic. People find it so, yeah, mesmerizing. Okay, so back of the deck as well, we have the bard, we have music, poetry, myth, history, the enchantment of storytelling. Yeah, I could definitely see you guys being a musician or a channeler, a writer, a poet, absolutely. The enchantment of storytelling, definitely. I love writing. Myth and history, though, this is very magical kind of energies. But again, it's just the creative energy. But I do feel like, again, this is the energy that I was kind of picking up on as I was just channeling then, where people get lost. It's just like you're like a fairy tale. Like when, you sit down with you to have dinner, or I don't know, to spend time, there's something about where it's like, when you start reading a really good book and you just like feel, oh my God, I'm so obsessed with this book. It's so good. Like, I can't stop reading this book. I don't want to put it down. I want to just keep reading it. That's the feeling that I have, like, when I'm around. That's what people would say. It's like the feeling they have around you. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't stop. I just want to keep going. Like, and you're kind of this infinite well of energy that people want to explore and dive into. And there's something about, there is meant to be eyes on you. Like, you have that energy signature for a reason. Nothing has gone wrong. I feel like that you are just meant to be kind of blessed in this lifetime, and kind of like realize, like, here I am, I'm blessed. And kind of like own it, own the bless, own the blessings, own the bless. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Own the fact that you are blessed and that you are kind of like favored. There's something like about this. And yes, there can be a sadness for like other people who may feel disempowered and jealous and whatever. But I feel like there's so much more for you to explore. Like, you have already experienced that pain. Okay. Because I feel like what I'm seeing, something about your destiny, is that you were meant to experience growing up someone around you in your close life being jealous of you. It might have been a sibling, a parent, I don't know, friend growing up, uh, you know, cousin, I don't know. Someone was like really jealous, or maybe more than one person. And I feel like it made you want to alter yourself subconsciously so that you didn't hurt them, so that they didn't feel pain for you having something that they didn't have and that they wanted. You wanted to be like on the same level as them. That's what I'm talking about when I say about the feminine. The shadow side of the feminine can be like self-sacrifice for the sake of connection. It's like, oh, well, I want to be connected with you. I want to be friends with you. I want you to like me. I want to be accepted in this family. I want to be accepted in this friend group or whatever. So I will sacrifice this thing about myself to make myself fit in. That's sort of like the shadow energy of connection when we do it at what cost, Ooh, and the feminine, I feel like that's something that the wounding, it's like a wounding in the feminine. So I feel like you have this wounding in the feminine that you're here to heal, and it's totally your destiny to heal, and you took it on because you love the feminine energy and you love working with the feminine energy. But look back of the deck, we also have, sorry, we also have the king, okay? So there's still this masculine energy in you, and I feel that. I feel this boldness, I feel this fieriness, I feel this tenacity, I feel this action taking, I feel this unwillingness to remain stuck in life, this like wanting to always grow and expand. Yeah, I feel like people are very intimidated by you group 3, okay? And that again, I know it might be like, oh my gosh, this is coming through more of this. But this is what is coming through, is just that you have this really powerful energy. You also have a lot of sex appeal, I have to say. Like it says on this king card, man, authority, male, sexual energy, things pertaining to the law and justice. So there is just this like, yeah, very magnetic, very sensual, seductive kind of energy, very charismatic, very charming. That's your destiny. Your destiny is to like wield that power wisely and responsibly. Because you have a lot of influence over others. You are a classic influencer. You influence people, you just do. And you also influence people in the sense that they get jealous because you're meant to. It's a part of you, the way that you activate people. I feel like part of your destiny as well is that you're an activator. You're definitely an activator. And it's okay if you activate through jealousy. You don't have to take responsibility for that. It's just part of the way that you're designed. You're meant to go through the world and have a big impact on others. And you already have. Actually, Spirit wants you to know you already do have a big impact on others. Let's get you a couple more cards as well. So we have fear as part of your destiny, okay? Let's see, Spirit, what else here? We have fear and love. Are you serious? That is like so amazing. Look at that archetypal from fear to love. Look, protection on the back of the deck. Like, yeah, I feel like you have had to learn about the darker side of relationships in this lifetime. That's been part of your destiny, is to learn about relationships and how sometimes, like the people that we are closest with can hurt us the most, Ugh. Anyway, it's a very dark kind of energy on this earth. The statistics like in crime and stuff that like you're more likely to be, harmed by your significant other than anyone else or whatever. It's that kind of energy where I feel like you've had to like learn about evil in some way, or learn about the way that we have to protect ourselves from others, especially with you having this light where you need to have the boundaries, you need to have the people around you that truly support you, because you can so easily see really dark sides of people, is what I'm trying to say. You can easily see really dark sides of people because of the way that people react to your energy. It is quite a lot to handle, because you could have people become obsessed, you could have people become controlling of you could have people become like they want to be, possessive of you. You could have people be very, very jealous, very spiteful, wanting to do things to like sabotage your life, even though you hardly know them and you're like, what on earth is going on? You might have really big reactions to your energy. And it might be a lot to kind of learn about. And it might have been a lot. It might have been a lot. It might still be a lot, but you're going to really alchemize from fear to love. You're going to shift things around. And you're going to move from a place where you've had to learn about protection and protecting yourself to a place where you are surrounded by loving people who love and support you and uplift you and want you to be bright and want you to be shiny and want you to be happy and healthy and successful and beautiful and all of these things. And the fact that you didn't have that innately wired into your subconscious has been a huge heart opening, a huge way of healing. Like you've been doing huge healing around, relationships, I feel like in this lifetime in general, relationships in general, and maybe moving from really having a lot of fear around connecting with others and can I trust people? Is it safe for people? Is it safe for me to trust you? Is it safe for me to show you who I am? There's also that kind of thing. There's a beautiful, beautiful energy here of vulnerability though, and like learning how to really open your heart to life and open your heart to love again after maybe going through experiences that made you really want to shut down. All right, let's get the astro dice as well. So we have Mars in the 11th house in Pisces. Really interesting because we have the king and we have Mars. So this is very strong masculine energy. But like I also said, you have that strong feminine energy as well. You got strong both. You're just a strong energy. But that masculine is really working for you really well though as well. I feel like spirit wants to bring that in. That masculine energy you have, that drive, the way you take action in this lifetime, it's going to lead you to a lot of success, okay? I feel like, by the way, this destiny reading is not your entire destiny, okay? This is just like snippets that spirit wants to talk about at this time, this current snapshot of time. But I feel like when I've opened up this channel now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could literally talk about destiny forever. Maybe I will. Anyway, we have the 11th house here as well, which is about community, right? And I was saying, you're going to find your people in this lifetime. It's your destiny too, okay? It's your destiny to find your people where you are loved, where you are uplifted, where you're supported to be truly yourself. And this cannot be faked, okay? This cannot be faked. Even if someone seems all good on the outside, on the surface, what they really think about you, what they really think, or what they say behind your back, all of that stuff, it is present in the energy field. So you will feel like, oh, I feel shy around this person, or I feel closed off around this person, or I feel like I don't want to be vulnerable around this person, because you're picking up on what is really there. So when you meet someone who's like a soul family, it's going to be like this instant bond where you're like, oh, I don't have to protect myself around this person, right? I don't have to protect myself from this person. Finally, like you're going to finally have experiences of like true friendship, true love. I feel like there's something about your energy where you might have a lot of people fall in love with you in this lifetime. I don't know if you're going to fall in love with a lot of people in this lifetime. You might. There might be more than one person that you have like a deep love experience with in this lifetime. Or it might be like over, I'm not sure. But there is something here about people really, really loving you, and spirit's like, learn to let the love in. Learn to like love and be loved. A lot of your lifetime, this lifetime, is about learning to love and be loved as the root core of your creative outlet, okay? So it's like, on the surface, it's like, oh, you're a creative, you're an artist, you're a spiritual speaker, or you do whatever creatively. But then at the core of that journey is about learning how to love and be loved, and that is very relational. And I'm just seeing, about community, finding belonging. Who are your people in this lifetime? Where do you feel safe? Who do you feel protected by in relationship with? And you're meant to move from a place of maybe really a lot of isolation, a lot of rejection, a lot of feeling left out in the cold, to a place of truly being loved, truly being supported, truly being held. And I feel like you just have this fighting spirit, like you have a fire energy and you have a fighting spirit with that Mars, like you will never give up. I feel like actually one thing that I heard when I was just tuning into your energy before I hit record, and I'm glad it's come back to me, is that I heard that you could do anything that you set your mind to. You could actually do anything that you set your mind to. Like the world is open to you. You could do anything you set your mind to. You could, if you can believe it, you can do it, you can achieve it. And that is the kind of power that you have. You have the kind of power to radically heal yourself, to manifest incredible things. But at the core of all of this success and charisma and popularity, it's like about learning how to love and be loved. It's really interesting because you could be like really popular, but still feel this sense of loneliness. Like there's something about your learning, like you could have 1 million subscribers or something and still feel lonely, and then finally find your people or something. There's something where you're learning about like, what does it mean to be loved? How do I feel loved? How do I feel loved? How do I feel belonging? How do I feel like I fit in? How do I be my true self and be loved for my true self? How do I, creatively self-express who I truly am and not be afraid of that and be authentic? How do I find the people to, it's all this kind of story. It's really interesting though, because there is something here around like spirit's also saying, whenever you're working with your creative outlet or your career or whatever it might be, your spiritual path, your spiritual role that you're here to do, I don't know what it might be, a creative, a poet, a musician, whatever. Whenever you're working with that, remember that the core is still around love. The core of it is still coming back to love. It's about, do I feel loved? Do I feel seen? Do I feel loved? Do I feel like I am loved and safe? That's really the core of things for you. And again, relationships is a huge part of your destiny in this lifetime. Learning about relationships and really finding the right ones. You are meant to be very picky in relationships in this life, okay? You are meant to have very strong boundaries, very discerning. You're meant to be very, very discerning, and for good reason, because I feel like you're the kind of person who's been through it in relationship. You may have met some people that, really you had to heal from the experience of knowing that person kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you've had a lot of those kinds of experiences. And even like I said, just having this energetic signature where people are so jealous and resentful, and they're like, oh, you have it so easy, you have it so good. Like, it's just a lot in the heart space to go through. Um, yeah, it really is. I'm also feeling that you might want to check out my tape, Return to Belonging. It's a root chakra light language healing. I'll link it down below. And it's just, would I really feel like be really perfect for you in this life, just to help you with coming back into a sense of belonging within the root chakra, which is within ourselves first, but then it will manifest, of course, in our reality with the people that we meet, with the place we feel guided to live, just the way that we surround ourselves in, you know, a positive kind of experience. You might also want to check out my Open to Love light language. It's funny because I recorded both of those tapes around the same time. They're kind of like connected energetically, Open to Love and Return to Belonging. The Open to Love is a light language heart chakra healing, and it's really good for helping you to open to love again after, experiences of pain or just anything that we might go through that might make us feel kind of vulnerable about opening up again in relationship or in love, or just opening to more love for ourselves from our own self. All right, so I'll link those tapes down below. That is the end of your reading. Like I said, I feel like I could talk about this topic of destiny forever, and maybe I will. Maybe I just will. I hope you're doing so well. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care. I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.